Hello, my people. This is your redneck from Texas, Nate, and we are live tonight. Um, and we will have some guests on a little bit later. But I wanted to stop by and say thank you to each and every one of you who have been part of this channel since the beginning. And I mean from the original beginning all the way back in the syndicate days. And I'm still a part of the syndicate. We're still approving posts and doing things and making sure information sent out there on the syndicate still. And I want to say we have finally made it to episode almost 500, but we're on video number 600 as of today. So today is a monumentous time, and I want to say thank you to each and every one of you out there. Um, and so if you guys are new to my channel, not been here a bit, or if it's been a long time, we do a little bit of everything. We do comics, we do toys, we do toy hunting, movie reviews. We picked up some of that over the last couple of years. So we are having fun now and just enjoying ourselves. Hey, Slow DK. So with that being said, hey, we have our first guest for the night.
Da, 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 da.
The esteemed Mr. T Man 978.
You
Thank you,
didn't
T.
you didn't put the second warning.
Ah. So, T Man's been here since the beginning, like literally when, and I was just telling everybody, like, hey, when we started the syndicate way back when, you and Mike at the time had brought me in to help out and with Rube. And it's funny that the only people still left in the group is literally T Man, Rube, me, Craig, half the time, and Brad occasionally. Um,
Plastic addict sometimes.
Sometimes George, but George got so many groups he's a part of now that he's just as bad as I mean I can't say nothing either. I'm just as bad as him as you are. We're in so
Yeah.
many groups it's not funny. But then you have so many chat groups too, and and everybody wanted to be friends with George. So George ended up being admin for a lot of places, just like
Yeah.
um, with OBM and other places too. So
He
um,
can't help turning not he, he has to join. He can't turn people down.
no, I mean that's just his
The people
personality.
will
He's
snap.
nice. I'm the guy who says, "Nope, I don't need to be part of it," and I'll bug out.
You and me.
um, Same way with like a lot of things out there is like you've got to know how much stuff you can actually take on and do and have fun with, and when you get 8,000 notifications, then you might know you have a problem. You got too much stuff at
That
once.
definitely my problem. Like
Uh,
recently, you see how Facebook added every group has their own messenger. So, so one day, one of the groups I was in, I started getting messages left and right. People just posting pictures and pictures. I was like, "What the heck? Get me out of here!" And I left that chat so quick.
it was funny. Like it's like I'm in what was it Terry's TF's group because he'll tell us like when all this stuff are coming from China side, and it'll be 8,000 members in a group, and you'll just get
Yeah,
randomly added to a million groups. And it's not that I don't love everybody, as I do, but I can't be in 8,000 chat groups either at the same time.
right.
Um, and that's just kind of how it goes. You only can be in so much, you can only see so much in a day. That's
And a
just,
chat group that has 8,000 people.
your message is going to get lost in the sauce. Even if you say at whoever, it's not going to make
Mhm.
it. And then that's just Facebook. We're not talking about Instagram, Twitter, anything else outside of there. What's up? Hey, Brian. So, KJ, what's up, man? So these are like old school people who've been here since the beginning. And that's why I kind of put out a thing in the community tab. I said, hey, we're going to do a giveaway, and it's going to be a big giveaway because of how long everybody's been here. I looked at it yesterday. I started YouTube in 2017, And T-Man started way before that. Because I remember watching T-Man and Bobby and MGO and PR and everybody. I was like, it's funny to see like how far that's went and how far
Mhm.
we've come since 2017 when we started the syndicate. Um,
I got
I've
serious around the end of 2014.
Hey, I appreciate that I'm in your notification list because I ain't monetized anymore, so I don't get suggested art at the time. Yeah, Brian, I mean you've been going it for a long time too, because I've been watching you like, and it's funny too, like we see all the people that came up,
Times
like, and like Larkin, and we've got Jason Morgan, and those guys, they really came up in the world, since that time. So I'm happy to see like how it's turned for everybody. That's turned out amazing through here. And so with my giveaway, I wanted to kind of give back to everybody since the beginning of time, pretty much like, and everybody knows I'm a bot guy by trade. That's my first thing. Just like T-Man, we're both bot guys, but we also do collect other things too, So I'm kind of being a little open with that. But we'll get to what, and I'll show you guys
I
kind of
probably
what we're gonna.
shouldn't have came in here so I can get into the contest.
Oh no, you can be. I don't care. You know me. You can be part of it. I don't
Well,
care.
let me
This is for
click
anybody.
like
I'm not going
while
to restrict it to nobody.
I'm gonna click like while I have you on my TV.
But yeah, it's been a fun ride. I mean, the last eight, and I took 6 months, 7 months off too. Henceforth, why I'm not monetized anymore. YouTube don't like that when you take a long break. So they kicked me off. So I'm like, okay. So now I don't even have to worry about
It
anything
was
I
only
say.
6 months.
Yeah, about 6 months, almost 8 months, I think total. But
Jeez. I
that's
wonder
the
would they
thing.
do that to me?
Uh, I don't
'Cause
know because you've got over 20,000. So
yeah,
I don't think they do that to you. Like even Craig just hit 20,000 too, the last week. So
I think I don't want to test it, but it probably would be several months before my videos stop. I guess making revenue, but they probably would never, because something people still watch my old videos from 7, 8 years ago.
and that's how like I still my number one video to this day was a Spider-Man wave I found in Georgia. When I first started, and that's still my number one video. And it's ironic, it's like we've seen a lot out there. Hey, Bladen.
Hey, I'm getting set up here. Sorry for the delay.
Oh, no worries. So, T-Man, Bladen, T-Man. Bladen works over
Right.
How
in
you doing, man?
Ethereal Comics. So, he's on the other family side of the comic side. So, I wanted to include anybody and everybody. So, thank you for coming, Bladen.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, T-Man. Good to meet you.
Hello, nice meeting you. If I disappear, it's because I don't have my tripod in here right now.
So, with that being said,
Well, I mean,
there's
if my live face disappears like this,
oh yeah, you always do that. I was watching you guys last night,
I was
after the
laying
fact.
down last night.
Oh yeah. Um, and so remember that, guys. Even if I'm not commenting, I'm still watching you guys. Like I'm still watching Figure Action every week, just for that reason because I still support those guys. Um, and I appreciate Jordan and Matt, Joe, and a certain little wee guy called David. Um, um, but yeah, I always appreciate them. Um,
You can just keep going back. That's just so I can see the
okay,
screen. Yeah.
okay. So everybody that's been with me since the beginning knows that we always had fun here, and that's what I wanted to continue doing with the channel is keep growing it with each and everybody else. And one thing that's always been a part of our community has been toys, comics, and we've kind of pushed those as much as we can. Um, but T-Man remembers when we used to have collector syndrome, where we used to collect everything in the sun. Um, and it's ironic because a lot of us now have went 180 on that and turn and only collect what we actually want to collect. And it's because A, we don't have the space anymore, and B is because we need to actually enjoy what we have. So like the things I have come into here is things I enjoy playing with, so to speak.
Well, there's a
And
C. The prices are going up on everything.
oh yeah, I mean like you think of like that, Combiners War Devastator. Go try to buy that today.
Right.
You know, it's twice the price of what it was when it originally came out. Don't
Now
even try.
stuff is coming out that price.
Yeah.
Brand new. Like never made before.
And even straight standard comic books from a comic shop run you $5 a piece. If you want to get 2 or 3, you're putting a pretty penny out there.
Well, and especially if that's why you have to support an LCS and get your discount. Get a subscription because I always harp on that. So get a subscription, you know, and because it'll save you anywhere from 20 to 30%, and at the same time too, you get to really know the community, and that's the big thing. Is I got to know a lot of people through a lot of time, through a lot of years,
Yeah.
And I enjoy that part. I enjoy just talking and having fun.
Well, that helps them know what to order and what people actually care about too. So
Exactly,
I
and
didn't even think about comic prices. I'm just realizing that magazines are like $14.
yeah,
oh yeah. You remember you used to see them at the grocery store when you check out. They were $2.99. You start
Yeah.
looking at them now, $6.99, $9.99, 12. And
yeah.
I'm looking at it. It's maybe 50 pages, if that.
Yeah.
And they're charging you that. I'm like, wait a minute, my trade paperbacks are 100 something pages, and I'm still spending $20 on those.
Yep.
I forgot what magazine it was, but they had this special Spider-Man book, and I think it was like showing all the cinematic Spider-Mans and maybe the animated. So I picked it up, and then I looked at the price, and I was like $15, $16. I was like, this is just a regular magazine.
Right.
See, that's why I'm a comic advocate. I say buy comics. They're a lot. You're gonna get more bang for your bucks out of it.
Well, and yeah, supporting the creators and all that too.
And that's one reason this last year I started my new segments, creator spotlights, for that reason. Is I wanted to support independent writers and comic artists, and anybody that wanted to come on, just because I believe in what you guys are doing. I believe that you guys are out here to enjoy it, to have fun. You're giving out great products for us, so we're able to see and read. And it's different too. It's different than the old Marvel DC days of the same thing over and over again. I mean, and like I'm always going to be, a big time supporter for Coffin, Chaos, and whatnot, because that's what I grew up with. That was my genre. I got out of X-Men. I got out of a lot of that stuff at the end of 2000s. So,
Yeah.
And granted, I was in the military, so I didn't have much time to read comics. So you kind of take a break from things and then you come back. That's why it was nice to see like some people still around that I knew, and getting to meet new people too.
Yeah,
I
when
mean,
I was deployed in Afghanistan, or no, when I was in Iraq, I was at Bob Spiker, and they did have some comics, but it was like right when Captain America was assassinated. So it was like, cool. That's what I want to read while I'm over here.
Hey, oh yeah. What year were you there?
That would have been around 2007, 2008. We were there for an extended 16 months.
You sound like me because I was in Iraq at the same time.
Yeah.
About 2008, and I was on that 15-month forward deployed supporting.
Yep.
Yeah, those are fun ones, especially when you have to go do the training for like 2 months prior, even though you just got back from a last deployment.
Right. You're like, oh, we got to get ready for the new one with the new folks.
Yep. I had to go to Fort Riley for a month and a half, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I just got back from Afghanistan. Why am I doing training again?
Right.
I think I'm okay.
Yeah, you're good.
But Yeah, I had a blast being able to do what I could do overseas. I don't recommend it though. I don't recommend that
You mean
that
you
you
wouldn't do it again?
volunteer. Because we had those guys too that would always volunteer. I want to go. I want to go. Sure thing. I've been 4 times. You can go this time.
Right.
You know, you start realizing you're getting older and older, and things aren't getting easier anymore either.
Well,
When
and
you
not like much is changing over there either. Like it's still the same shit every time you go.
same thing it was when we were there. It's still the same now, and it's one of those things. I don't want to make this all political, but it's you got to know when your time's up and when you need to be done, and let people come home. And that's what it comes down to is like people have families, they have homes, they need to go home. You're not going to win wars like that. It's not our war. It's not our war to win.
Nope.
And that's what it comes down to. And so everybody that's been over there knows that. They can see it within 5 minutes of being there. You already know how the war is, and it's not easy. And so I have a big respect.
TV and everybody's like, oh, they're just gonna leave them,
right? Like, well, yeah.
I guarantee you, the thousands of years they were there before we were there, and they were okay.
Well, same atrocities just continuously going on. So,
when you have religious wars, you're not going to win those.
Right.
That's a belief war. We're not going to win that one.
How long were the Autobots and Decepticons for?
Exactly.
Hundreds and millennia. Exactly. We should have learned from Megatron and Optimus.
Fiction's supposed to guide us in our lives, right? Or at least teach us how to, be better people and get together. But it's a good example.
Yeah, and that's what I look at. Like even GI Joe. I mean, if you read the GI Joe comics and watched the cartoon, they taught you something every episode, or every story you read. And it's the reason is that was the old school of thoughts. Like our thoughts was like, if you're gonna do something, you do it because you need to do it, not because it's just a good idea.
Yep.
Yeah, some of them weren't always stuck to one side. Like when Megatron turned good, first I was mad, but then I was thinking, you know what? Realistically, he would get tired of doing all this stuff.
Right? Thousands of years.
Like millions.
Right?
Hey, effortless random. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, and if you think about it too, though, there is no good or bad. If you think about in between Megatron and Optimus, we characteristically made them that, but it's really just a point of view.
Right.
It depends on if you watch the comics or the cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
The cartoon, he was just evil.
Right. Saturday morning style. It's a lot easier to write that.
That's why I loved IDW, especially when he went with Hot Rod on Lost Light. And, he's a good guy. He's tired of doing all this junk, and he's like, this is just getting stupid. At one point, I'm like, they can actually write that into a book. Because if you think about it, what if, for example, like Galvatron in the comic series is not the same Galvatron.
Yeah.
He's a whole different character. He's just somebody that's been around since forever, and he's not Megatron turned into Galvatron. And, unless you read the Marvel comics, then it's even worse because the Marvel comics screwed everything up by having Galvatron come from the future to the past, destroying it. Yeah. But in the IDW series, it made more logical sense, where he came from. But even there, I mean, there's lots of shades of gray. Nobody was really black and white. It was just a who believed what.
Like real life, yeah.
You can be right and you can be wrong at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends on who believes what and how you believe. The thing is just respecting how everybody believes. That's the big thing. It's like everybody can have an opinion, but you need to respect everybody's.
Yeah.
All right. We done went too political.
Yeah.
So, T-Man,
Yep.
what have you got lately?
Too much. Um, that I can see, I got the Masterpiece Skyfire. Fans Toys. What is his fake name?
Oh, Cliff
Parkour.
Jumper. Parkour, yeah.
I just got the animated universe Prowl for Legacy. What else? Well, since I've been on your channel, I got a billion things.
Oh yeah, it's been a couple months, So did you
Oh,
get
I
the
just found Jazz, the Cybertron version, the Buzzworthy Bumblebee Jazz.
oh, the Target one?
Yeah.
I finally got this guy.
Oh man.
Yeah. After much chagrin and trying, not being
Did you
able to
find it in the
find
store or
high.
you found it in the store?
No, my buddy Simon sent it to me from across the pond actually.
No.
Because we never had it here. I mean, it's only one to a case, and the same cases are still sitting there from when they first showed up.
Well, I got lucky. I was sitting in the store one day while they were bringing the cases out. I think I got you clamped down,
You did, yeah.
but
You
they
got
only
me,
had the one Cosmos.
and I don't blame you for keeping Cosmos. It was one clamp down, one Cosmos, and that's all you could get. I was happy to get him, and then I got the what was it? I got the Metal Hawk that came in. I mean, I got the whole wave that came in for that, but
No, I never seen the Crasher wave, like ever.
Crash. No, I didn't either. Wave two, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, I haven't seen the only. I'm trying to think. No, I've not seen Wave two yet. I mean, we still have long hauls, and we still have. I saw a Scourge about 2 weeks ago still. Um, but other than that, it's the same Blur, and then the Skids knockoff, um, and then everything Wave one from Legacy still. You know,
I stopped even going to Walmart, to be honest. Last time I went in there, they literally had no like action figures that we would try to collect. It's just the more kid friendly stuff. And I was like, what is going on? There was no Marvel Legends, no no Masterverse, no DC Multiverse, no Transformers. I was like, well, how are there no action figures? What's going on at this store? They did have the the hauler on clearance,
okay.
but he still wasn't cheap enough for me.
Well, it was like the Walmart exclusive, the ones they had of like Scorponok, Sandstorm, and
They
the
didn't
Lost
even
Ring.
have them.
Yeah. But your Walmarts have been doo doo for a while though. Every time I watch
Yeah.
you go hunting yours, it's like they ain't got nothing. Just like mine, like I haven't seen a new Marvel Legend in months, and I had to see it in a specialty store. That's where I had to see the new wave. I still see the What If wave, the Black Panther wave, and I still saw Eternals in some places here.
Now, there is one Walmart that I rarely go to, but when I go there, the shelves are packed, but they're packed with the same stuff every time I go.
Mm.
Stuff that was put on the shelf like 7 months ago.
And that's how mine is. Like Target, I have better luck at. I mean, I find more stuff there. Like I'm waiting on my Ratchet to come in because I got it on pre-order. But if I find it this weekend at Target, I'll just pick it up. But you know
Oh, the
what?
Buzzworthy one?
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen him.
because I gotta have him to go with Bumblebee. Cause I still have that little Bumblebee from the Cybertron one. Um, and it just few and far and in between. Like I'm having more fun with Universal monster stuff, and NECA stuff. Like I have one shelf of X-Men Legends and one half shelf of Spider-Man. That's it. That's all the Legends I have.
No, I almost wish that besides their price, that I collect at NECA because it's easy to find them.
Mm. Especially when the NECA store reps do their job and they're everywhere, and you can find it every time you walk in.
Yeah, but I think the price helps them stay on the shelf a little bit longer.
I think so. I mean, like now that we're at $32, $35, where it used to be 25, 27,
Yes, like
it's
some of those the alien figures, I'll pick them up and I'll be like, man, I kind of want this. Then I scan it and it's like $37, and I'm like, no, let me put this.
uh
No accessories. It's just an alien and a cheap box, and it's like not even that big. I'm like, no, I can't pay $40 for this.
no. And and like if the alien queen, like if they bring the big one back out, I'll buy that a heartbeat. Won't even think twice. And
Because
because
I got the xenomorph from the first movie, which came with like the egg, the face hugger.
mhm.
I think it came with something else, and I only paid $30.
Yeah, that was the big chap from original Alien. I remember that one. I had that one. I ended up getting the Mezco Alien, both aliens, and the Predator for mine. And it's because it's a huge black hole. I mean, you ask George or Steve, trying to go down that rabbit hole of all the NECA predators and aliens, you could be there forever. There's hundreds of them, it feels like. Um, so I ventured out to stay with the Mezco ones to keep it simple and keep it clean for the collection. But there's a lot of them. If they ever do the Pred Alien again, I'm buying that. I don't care. But I mean, I love that one. Scooter Carl's in the house. Scoot,
Oh, Nate Dog.
what's up? So let me make introductions. Scooter Bladen Scooter. Bladen works over in Ethereal Comics.
Cool.
He's part of the comic side of my family, so we try to bring everybody in. So we got a good crowd today. Thank y'all.
Yeah, it was Russian.
But
It's
so
fun seeing
Bladen,
them come together.
so which one is this one? So I'm gonna make you bigger, so to speak.
So this page is one of the pages from Base Core Dinosaur 4, which is live right now on Kickstarter. I'm more than halfway done with the actual pages for the book until we get the additional 6 pages if we meet that stretch goal, which hopefully we will, which usually we do. So this is one of the pages with the character Serenity, and this kind of goes a little more into her backstory in parts of this. So this is where you kind of find out why she's a little bit crazy.
Oh, I appreciate that.
But I'm going to get back to my sketch card here as well. This is from another title we're looking to release in the next couple months. It's called Kill Cam Bounty Hunter Babes, and this is one of the main characters on that one.
You say Bounty Hunter Babes?
Oh,
I
yeah.
sure did. Yeah, we came up with very creative titles. Very creative with the titles, yes.
Yes. Yeah, especially like Theater 7, if it hops.
Babe Score Dinosaur.
Exactly. And I did want to give a plug for BGD4 because, I signed up for one of the original pages, so I can't wait. I'll let you pick out which one, Bladen.
It depends on which character you want, because we have the Ricky and Eve story going on, but then this here is part of the Serenity backstory, like I was saying. So there's a couple options for sure.
Ooh.
I always hear Serenity and I think Firefly.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. Dustin came up with the names for the characters. I was just coming up with the designs and stuff. This one seemed just kind of cool and appropriate. So she's actually like the number one for our big bad guy for the first arc. And she is a tank bred individual. So she is actually kind of like a clone type situation that every time she dies, her memories get uploaded. So, I don't know.
So isn't that like is it Bloodborne or whatever? He always seems to come back every time he dies.
Is that Bloodshot? I don't know. There's a lot.
I know there's a lot of
several things that I know.
It's pretty comic booky.
And that was the thing too, is like I cannot express enough how much I enjoy Ethereal. And no, I am not sponsored by Ethereal, but they are my brothers in arms, so to speak, for comics. But that's the thing, is like the stories are very good. The artwork is amazing. We have a lot of good people out there. You know, and we got Dewdog now. So,
Yo.
Oh, dang.
So Dewdog introductions, T-Man, Carl, but we have Bladen on. Bladen's over from Ethereal Comics side, so he's on the comic side of my world, So I had everybody come.
Man, that's awesome. Looks like he's drawing over there.
Yeah, I'm looking on it. Nice
Who the heck is Dewdog?
Yeah, who's T-Man Tide? What the?
I know, right?
Had to put my glasses on.
9-7 Tide. But
well, congratulations on 600. Is that 600 live videos or like videos altogether?
Just 600 videos in general.
Yeah. All right, cool.
I'll be at 500 episodes, which are usually normal, just broadcasted episodes pretty soon. And so I put out in my community say, hey, when do people want me to do the actual giveaway? And I gave them an option. Hey, do you want to do it tonight? You do a live giveaway, or, do it at episode 500. And everybody said episode 500. So I'm like, okay, I can do that. But what we're going to do today? We're going to do the announcement today, later on.
Awesome.
So
now you got to articulate that moose.
I know, right?
Yeah, we'll get into that. This is those of y'all never heard of Toylanta. They converted the name. It used to be Joe Lanta, which was specifically G.I. Joes of every scale, the old OG 12 down to the little 3/4, and then obviously G.I. Joe Classified. And then Toylanta got so popular the last 3 years. As a matter of fact, this year they had Mystic Legions, the whole team, which was mind-blowing, just incredible. And they had Pixel Dan, which was really awesome, really cool guy. And but yeah, we'll get into the moose right here. He's pretty awesome.
And see, this is the part where everybody asks me the question, Nate, do you know about this? No. Because I hate to say it, I don't have the pulse on the toy scene as like it used to be. It's because you start getting involved in other things and you start, getting busy. You start losing that, it's like knowing anything and everything. But I will tell you this much, man, I will have that damn Santa Claus figure. I've already been talking to the guy. I'm like, dude, I want next time they do a run. If they do a run, I said, I want one.
Now listen, they're not going to do the red traditional version that's out at the moment, but I do have one sealed, Nate. Got your name on it. I mean,
I always got my name on it.
I mean, I'm just letting you know, brother.
I will.
Nah, Mythic Legion. I mean, I stayed away. I've been collecting long enough. I'm like, all right, dude, I gotta, I didn't jump into Mythic Legion game. And I've been doing really, really good because I only got the Headless Horseman. That was it. And then I only got Santa Claus. But when I saw these guys live and it was freaking thousands of people out the door just at their booths trying to get their hands on, because you got to understand, like, everybody's been paying $200 for this moose, for instance. These guys, the real deal, the actual people, freaking $70 a pop, man. It was flying off the ship. I mean, it was all out of their booth. But yeah,
it's a freaking moose, man. Who wouldn't want an articulated moose?
I mean, yeah, all this articulation, knees, the hooves, the whatever you want to call them, hips or whatever. But let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 points of articulation. I mean, that's pretty impressive for an animal. I mean, as you can tell. Let me see. Yeah, there you go.
Hey, so Effortless is asking about your Mezco Batman.
Which Mezco Batman? The one that you've been waiting like 10 years on?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for throwing it in our face. We appreciate you.
Uh-huh.
But yes, that one. Mine hasn't. Actually, speaking of Nate, he is the reason I'm getting one. So I don't personally have one in hand. I've just been busting out laughing over the toy community and all of their photos. Me and Nate's holding our breath, hoping to goodness is. Yeah.
If not, you might see a giveaway for a Mezco Batman. You never know.
No, it'll be okay. You'll just have to dab the powder off.
Yeah, it'd be all right. There's a lot of people out there saying that people that own the seamless body, there's like little. Now you got to be careful, but there are certain name brand wipes or oils that people use it on 1/6 stuff like Hot Toys and all that. So we'll see, but.
So, and I shared that link earlier today in our group about they were talking about the powder on it, and then so the difference with the Batman compared to everything else, it's like a TB League figure, so that means it's going to have like skin, stuff like that underneath the thing. So you got to be careful. I've torn up 2 TB Leagues already because if you let them sit in a position too long, it stretches out, it pinches, and it tears. So that's going to be, I think, the catch with this Batman is like we're just going to have to be smart with it once we get it.
Yeah.
And I'm
T-Man brought up a good point about that Batman earlier today about how Mezco's covering their freaking rear ends because that list that you sent us, Nate, that's got don't have it in the sun, don't bend it too much, don't have a sharp on it, don't rub on it. I mean, it was all these things of what not to do. It's like that way you can't call them and say, hey, mine got a seam ripped. Oh, well, buddy.
Yeah, they're going to be getting calls left and right and posts on everything.
Yep.
Worst Batman ever.
Waited 25 years to get this Batman, and then now it's a piece of junk.
That Superman was a piece of junk too.
Yeah.
I didn't buy that either. Yeah.
I had it, and I looked at it. I opened up it, I closed the lid, and I resold it the next day.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Look, man, let's be real. The Mayfix, or either version, mine specifically is the Dark Knight version, the stockier version.
Mm-hmm.
That's my good. That's all the Superman I need. Like it's I ain't gonna say perfect. It's not a perfect figure, but it's doggone pretty close. I mean, I don't need the Mezco Superman at all.
I love the Cyborg Mayfix Superman.
Oh my god, yeah.
That's one of my favorite figures of the year so far. Just because it isn't like the Azrael Batman who can't stand. I can put that Superman in almost any position and it's fine. Now granted, we'll see how the Steel figure comes out when it comes out here in a couple of months.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one.
Me too, but I want an Eradicator. I want a Superboy.
Yeah, give us all of them.
You keep bringing them. We already got the black suit spot Superman, so now all they need to do is just do a reissue of the original Superman, and I'll be a happy camper.
And I think the reason that one was underwhelming a little bit, it's still awesome. The black suit one, the Return of Superman, because people don't realize it's comic accurate though. It's literally just black figure with a silver. Yeah, I mean,
right after he gets killed by Doomsday. Well, not right after he kind of incubated.
Right. When he came back, that one.
That was like the big thing with the Snyder, wasn't it? The Snyder cut or whatever for Justice League, where he actually had the black suit on for that kind of thing.
Like he kind of did a little comic throwback.
Like little tiny comic throwback because everything else they threw out the window.
Oh right. Yeah, and that was the funny part. Like I watched that Snyder cut twice. Just to see if I missed anything in it, compared to the original. And the black suit was okay, but the first mistake that I saw was when they try to put so much into one movie, like Doomsday. Okay, you made Doomsday combine with Lex Luthor, really? Like, come on now. And then Darkseid goes up in Justice League, and I'm like, y'all just stretching it, So I'm glad they're doing the little reset button again because they need to do something.
Well, the Mythic Legions guys, not to try to get back to that, but I've been to a bunch of, toy shows or whatever, but man, those guys, I'm telling y'all, like, as far as down to earth, the whole team, like, there was like 8 or 9 of them, but man, it didn't matter if you were a 7-year-old or a 70-year-old, dude. They was zoned in, looking dead at you, and it didn't matter if there was 1,000 people waiting. Man, you were like the rock star, like they make you feel like you were, important. I mean, it was awesome. That's an awesome team of people. So they gave me respect on that. But.
See, I appreciate that because you know why? they didn't forget where they came from. Like everybody here, none of us forgot where we came from. It's like, and I was telling T-Man earlier, these are the same people I've been talking to since I pretty much started the channel.
Right.
Like between James and T-Man, Carl and I met a little bit later on after that. And then Bladen and I just literally met within this last year.
Yeah, Scooter Car, he's all right. He's all right.
He's all right. He's been on here a couple of times.
You know,
Classic crack dealer is all I am. That's all I am. Well, I'm scooterless, but the scooter will be coming back shortly. So
you're Nathan's crack dealer. That's what
exactly. I
found one thing for him, and I asked, I was like, "Did you need it?" And he was busy with work and didn't respond. And he needed it, and then when he went to Target because I saw it, he then found it and then some. And I also saved him from making a terrible mistake.
Amen.
I bet.
So my last toy hunt, I found the Munsters NECA figure, the ultimate NECA figure. Yeah. And I was thinking it was the classic Munsters, but it wasn't. Yeah. It's the Rob Zombie version. And I'm looking, I'm like, so I opened up the panel, I start looking, I'm like, nope. I'm gonna leave you there. I'm gonna save myself $35.
Yeah, it's super close.
Yeah.
The Herman.
Close I almost couldn't tell. It definitely wasn't close to the original.
See, the original was black and white, and so.
Oh no, they had a couple. Its end run was in color.
The end, yeah, it was, but there was a black and white one, and I remember watching it in black and white before I watched it the color version, and that's what I would want. I'd want a black and white version of Herman to go with my black and white version of my regular Frankenstein. Yep. Because like for mine, what I did is I bought every accessory kit for these Universal for the black and white set. So like I've got Dracula, the black and white Dracula, he's in the coffin. And so I've got the mummy, he's in a sarcophagus, and then for Frankenstein, I'm going to put him in the extra contraption, the black and white one. Then the colors will go together, kind of thing. So I've enjoyed the run, but I mean, we ain't got many figures left to go in this run.
Well, they just announced, who did they announce?
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, that was one of them, yeah. And then Dracula, I think.
Yeah, and I've got both Draculas already. So I just need Creature, black and white, and color.
What about the Bride of Frankenstein or something?
Bride of Frankenstein already on pre-order.
Oh, that's what it was. This Bride of Frankenstein, they showed pictures of her. And we thought she was going to get done earlier because of April O'Neil and the crossover, but that didn't end up happening, which we found really awkward.
Yeah. And then I'm waiting on my Donatello Invisible Man to get here, and then the Casey Jones.
That'll finish out my turtle.
Hey, Thor.
In line. That crossover with TMNT and Universal Monsters.
That's the best one I've seen. I mean, and then they kind of put their foot into the door with the Transformers one when they did the Dracula crossover with Mindwipe for that one. It was kind of cool. I wish they would have did like 3 or 4 more, because then at least we would have had the original, to go.
NECA did that?
No, Hasbro did it. It was with Hasbro.
We didn't stay in the store that long. But the only Universal monster I have is the Invisible Man. It's right here.
Yep. Can't see it.
That's some serious articulation on that one. Paint apps look awesome.
He done brought John Cena to the house, and you can't see him.
Mm-hmm. The most savage one I saw walking through Target one day. I posted on my Instagram, but anyway, it was John Cena, so I stole the figure. And it was just the package anyway. I thought it was hilarious. But I was like, man, I almost bought just the box just for that.
It's bad though when you walk into Target and you see, or Walmart too, and you've seen a figure's been totally dismantled, and they're like, "Oh, we knocked off $2." I was like,
"Oh yeah, thanks."
It's missing everything. It's like, who's paying $19.99?
Little piece of bubble gum at the little build a figure spot.
Well, like how many of their heads were missing with the open packaging.
The craziest part is everybody, like, I guarantee you, like, people say, well, how do you know this, bro? I know this. 90% of all that crap is people our age in the chat right now. that's doing that crap. That's what blows my mind. Like that's wild to me.
Kids will just steal the figure and keep going. They
Right.
They don't bother putting something in there.
Man,
a lot of times it's people taking the accessories. I think is the big part.
right.
There's a lot of times stuff like that disappearing.
I'm pretty chill, but man, when I walked in one day, it was years ago. Marvel. This is when I was every Marvel Legend, freaking everything. I had to have it. I was buying it. Didn't matter. And I walk in one day, and I was like, "Oh my god, there's the whole case!" Every freaking one, dude. Somebody had already stole the Build-A-Figure parts only and left a figure. I was like, dude, the whole case. I'm like, dang.
I was shocked one day somebody threw the Build-A-Figure pieces just on the shelf. And I was like, "Oh, I need that one."
You have that moral dilemma at that point. Do I take it or do I just go to customer service?
I saw the Black Panther wave, and it was just oh my god, what's her name? Not Nakia, but yeah, Nakia. Yeah, she was just sitting. Yeah, I sent it to the group chat. But anyway, it was just her. And I even asked the other guy. I was like, "Should I just take it?" I mean, I don't know. Like, it's just, you can't scan it. There's no box. They just left the figure. I'm like, well, okay.
They'll try to tell you if you went up front. They'll try to charge you the full price.
Right. I'm like, nah, just let whoever. But
now, we could take $5 off.
It's like I don't even know what the price is. It's a figure. There's no no.
Somebody left it. Some kid left it.
And then that's what you tell them. Okay, it's a $20 figure. You only have the figure. You're missing half of it. I'll give you $5. It's an open box item.
Well, it's also funny when you pick up, especially at Target, where you just pick up the bottom panel, and you can see stuff that's like 20 years old sitting there.
Oh yeah.
You'll put something up like a Marvel Legends from 15 years ago, and they'll be like, "Yeah, we don't have a barcode for this. We gotta go take it and destroy it." And you're like, "Don't you dare!" And like, sorry,
exactly.
You will find a way.
Man, I had some killer videos back in the day with Toys R Us. Oh my god! I'd and straight up open that bottom case, and that was with the Hydra 2-packs and the Phoenix and Cyclops, bro.
Yep.
4 or 5 of them jokers under. I'm like, oh my god! And they were discounted. They were under there for God knows how long. And when I went to scan them, they were like $15. I was like, thank you.
The best luck I had was on this. It was a Generations Wheeljack. He wasn't under the shelf, but I forgot how many years it had been out. I picked it up, scanned it, and it rang up for 1 cent.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember
when I bought it. They didn't even charge tax on it. I was like, wow.
Like, dang, get this out of here.
I would love to get to that day. Like, I remember I found the
I've never had that happen. That's pretty crazy.
Well, I found the Warpath Deadpool 2-pack at Toys R Us, and it didn't scan, and they wanted to get rid of it. I'm like, dude, I'll give you $30 for it. I don't care, because this was $100 set at the time.
That was before I got in the game. I remember them days. That was way back.
Way back. That's when Hasbro just first got Marvel Legends onto their site. I'm like, I'll take it. And they wouldn't sell it to me. I mean, it's just one of those things. I'm like, and I know exactly what happened. The manager took it, confiscated. He took that thing home. Yeah. And it was kind of funny too, because I knew the manager. He's a collector just like I am. But he would always order extras. He'd order an extra for him. Because he was the toy manager and the general manager for the store.
Hey,
so
the ultimate hookup.
Exactly. He's the guy who got me Masterpiece Soundwave when it first came out at Toys R Us, which you can never find. Tina remembers trying to find that one.
I actually got lucky. I went to the store before the store opened, and there was a dude standing there with 2 toddlers. And I was like, he's probably looking for the same thing. So when the doors open, I let them walk in, and then I quickly cut between the aisles and got to the aisle before him. And when I got there, Soundwave was sitting there. I picked it up, and then he got to the aisle eventually and saw me holding it, and you could see his hopes and dreams fall onto the floor.
Fall to the floor.
But there was another one. There was 2.
But you've done that before though. I've watched some of your videos where I want to say you found Baroness like right before a dude, and you like,
Oh yeah,
Oh, that was great.
I remember that. Yeah,
I was,
Oh man, somebody was angry with me.
they
I
were
had to block
yelling at you.
the
I had to
weirdest
block
one,
the
the Joker. It was had my two oldest sons with me, and I was in Target, and this dude freaking. You know, y'all know when you can feel somebody following. You know what I'm saying? Like you can just. I'm
Yeah.
like out your peripheral vision, and I'm like, man, what the heck? And a brand new Star Wars Black Series wave came out, and I'm holding, two of them. Buddy straight up, you can feel him. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go to the electronic department. Buddy follows us, bro. Like straight up follow us. And I'm like, finally I turned around. I was like, man, can I help you? He's like, dude, can I just hold those? I said, hey man, look, that's just first of all, that's weird. But I said, I'll tell you what, I'll let you look at them like me holding them. I didn't know if you're gonna snatch them and run or what.
right.
He was serious, boy. I mean, he was serious. I'm like, buddy. Dang, it ain't. I mean, trust me. I'll build my whole Instagram on the figure game, but bro, it ain't that deep. Like, they gonna follow you around with your children and you're like, what?
I want that figure, man.
Can I hold it? Can you hold it? Dang.
I think the only time I've ever ran into something like that was, and it was funny. It was here in Texas. I was at Walmart, and you know how it is when you see another collector, but you don't say nothing for a minute. Like you're trying to
Right.
figure out are they a collector or not? Kind of first. And so I'm looking at the Transformer, and he's looking at the Transformer. I grab the one. We make eye contact. I'm like, mine.
Yeah.
But it was we joked about it, we laughed about it. I was like, there was like 3 or 4 of the same one. It wasn't a big thing, but like, okay, it's awkward, but you can make it funny at the same time.
Right.
But your dude, he's straight up a stalker, man. That was
Yeah.
weird.
He was. That was like, bro.
No.
And then when you're a dad and your kids are with you, so you already on high
Yeah.
alert anyway. So that whole thing was like, bro, like what?
Now when the last Thor wave came out, I think I had Valkyrie and one. I forget what other figure was in my cart, and this guy came in there looking for them. And I was like, after walking around, I was like, I'm not buying these. So I was like, were you looking for these?
See, the only figure recently that I wanted to get was that Moon Knight, the new Moon Knight from the. The
The two
MCU.
different versions, the suited version and all that.
Like they suited, and then I'm like, that looked pretty good, but it's not, not like something I'm going to go after. It's like, and I never saw it, and I was like, okay. I saw plenty of She-Hulks. I still see a crap ton of She-Hulks.
There were so many of those.
Like literally, my last store just put out new cases of just She-Hulk, and I'm like, oh man, we're never going to get rid of these. It's going to be like it's going to be like Lando, from Star Wars.
I mean, I did grab ones because it is an incredible looking figure. They did a great job, but man, it was stacked so deep it was ridiculous.
I mean, this store must be like the Bermuda Triangle. I haven't seen She-Hulk in a while.
I only saw the Hawkeye once, the actual Renner one, and I'm like, it looked
the
really
Disney
good.
Plus one.
Yeah.
Wow. They were on clearance here.
I'm about to say I got him on clearance for $10, $11, whatever it was, something like that. About 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
Now, the way I've noticed it here is if it's 1 or 2 to a case, somebody's grabbing those all up. But if there's multiple like other characters, they're just leaving those like always.
No,
but, like
for us it was at Target. Like Target got whole cases of one character, so it would be 12 Hawkeyes on the shelf at once, and 12 Kate Bishops.
The Walmart. The Walmart I was just at had a bunch of the undead Iron Man, He Who Remains from Loki, and then Loki.
Yeah, a bunch of those too. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just sitting there, and then I looked over the Transformer section, and it was all 86 blurred cup, and I was just like, wow. I was like, and they're still, it's like $26.99. I was like, and you're still charging that? Those are like $4.99,
right?
$5. Nobody wants that figure.
Yep. Well, I remember like the buzzworthy stuff. I mean, some of that stuff was there for a long time, like the pterosaur, the cup, and even all the redone ones. And then they had that massive clearance sale, which Carl grabbed me the pterosaur, and then the 4-pack for like $13 at the 4-pack.
Wow.
And that was the one with Gold Bug. That's the only reason anybody from G1 wanted anything was the Gold Bug. And I'm like, well, I'll take the other ones and I'll put them on my Beast Wars shelf. So ironically, I'm looking at my Beast Wars shelf, and it's 3/4, Predacon and maybe a quarter, Maximal. Because they've had so many of these redecos that they did for between Kingdom and Legacy. But they were there for a while on the pegs, and then they were gone. Same way with the Walmart exclusive ones. They were there for a while, then they got clearanced out, and then they're gone now.
The Beast ones?
Yeah.
Here, they lasted for a long, long time before they clearanced them.
Yeah, see, we did 2 rounds of clearance here. They clearanced them down to $17, and then they went down to $7. And that's when I grabbed them. I was like, all right, time to grab them before they're gone. Bladen, what you working on?
I'm just drawing. So this is Brave Story Underland. We're gonna have the sequel coming out because first one was pretty successful. Dustin's already written it, and we'll be having other people working on covers as well. But just more fun, cheesy silliness. The story's actually pretty dark, but it gets fun too.
Yeah, see,
what is that, like a rabbit creature or something? What is it?
Yeah, it's pretty much like a subterranean take on Alice in Wonderland.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of a revamp, revision, but it's all, again, like subterranean and just otherworldly. A lot of mushrooms and such things for the iconography.
Right.
From a distance, I thought it was the owl bear.
Oh yeah, D&D, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a good story. I've only got to read the preview so far of it, but I mean,
first few pages. Yeah, I don't know which ones Dustin is actually physically boarding and tracking, but he's pretty much full time packaging and sending stuff out these days.
Awesome.
Yep. I mean, the company's growing, and we're trying to get more titles and more things going. So.
Now, did you pencil and ink?
Yeah, so on this one, I actually already inked this one, but I didn't like it, so I'm inking it again. So I printed off like a blue line version and then re-penciled it. That's kind of how I've been working lately. Here's a page for Kill Cam. That's going to be one of the preview pages. So just this one too. I'll probably be getting to inks on this one tonight.
Awesome.
Yeah, see,
yeah.
Bladen's a monster at doing this stuff. Like I'll sit on a live stream with him for 2 hours, and he's got like 5 pages done.
I do work fast. I'm not the best, but I can do the work. So.
Yeah, natural talent, man.
Oh man, it's a lot of work still. Yeah.
I've got a buddy here in Georgia that does a bunch. He's an artist also. He man, it's so funny because he'll do this mind-blowing stuff, and he'll send it off to DC, Marvel, and they don't even give the time of day. But it's like, man,
no, it's hard with the industry. I mean, from what I hear, it's mostly hiring their friends, and they're struggling because, people just aren't buying comic books in the shops. So,
right,
that's all right. But yeah, it's still really competitive, and I mean, it's worldwide now too. So you're fighting against people in the Philippines who can make it off of doing pages for $50, $60 when you get the living wage. If you're not doing it for at least 100 pages or $100 a page, it's rough.
Right, I believe it.
And I mean, the artists around the world are amazing too. So.
And that's what I've noticed too. I mean, I've seen that. I mean, from overseas, even like Brazil too. I've seen the guys from Brazil. Shout out to my boy Alberti. because that boy put enough work in for frog legs to last a lifetime.
Oh yeah. Well, that was his first sequential work too. He's actually came to us and he was working with Studio Bennis. So with Ed Benny's, the like, a lot of pinup stuff, really, really, really pretty work. So he'd done a lot of pinups and covers and stuff like that. But I tricked him into doing the hard work that it takes to do the sequential pages, and he enjoyed it. So he's going to be ready for the next one too, and hopefully this one. I mean, the sales were good. We got the everything funded and everything going. So a lot of really cool covers too.
That was a fun one. I mean, between even the rarity cover that April and did. I mean, I always
Archer's
enjoy
a
those.
beast. Like I want him to be working on some of my projects too. Like I have some writing stuff too, and I'm trying to get him, but like there's not enough of him to go around. You know.
Mm-mm. Everybody wants him to come, and I'm like, I just want to see more and more and more of it,
Yep.
But it's just timing. It really is. And so, as you guys know, Dog and T Man, I only do Kickstarters most of the time now. I still have an LCS I go to. I pick up covers to support the artist, but most of all the stuff I read is just straight from Kickstarter. So, like, he's working on Underland here, and that'll be another Kickstarter for us.
Yeah.
But I enjoy these ones more than the 8,000 issues of Marvel or DC that I used to buy, because it actually has a real story and has really good artwork too. And
and it's unique.
Yeah, it's definitely unique. And I mean, we're trying to make a product that we would actually want to read too. So that's part of it.
Every LCS near me has vanished. I have to go super far off.
And that's the thing, man. All those, I remember when I was about 19 or so, there was a lot. There were 5 or 6 in my town in Athens, Georgia. And dude, there's 0 in Athens now. I mean, you have to go to Gwinnett toward Atlanta. There's a couple big ones. But I mean, other than that, I mean, like T-Man said, you got to drive 45 minutes or an hour or whatever.
Oh, you need to come to Texas then, because we have plenty here. Plenty.
Man,
like,
that's good.
I mean, I have, well, and granted too, we also have CBCS here. We have one of the biggest grading companies for comics, so it kind of makes sense, having all the shops here. But we've got some of the oldest ones too, like mycomicshop.com is here, in Dallas. And they used to be one of the biggest sellers of comics in the US before they went strictly online. So between like them and Mile High, all those big ones, we have had so many little small LCSs pop up here because they're catering to different people. Like some will do toys too, some will do comics. I like the variety ones. That always gives me something to see. But I can guarantee you, if your comics aren't good, I'm probably not going to come back, because that is the original reason I come, is to see your comics. So when you have
one of ours messed up because they did a brilliant thing by actually getting collectibles in, action figures and things like that, statues. I mean, all kind of nice stuff like Mezcos and obviously Diamond Select. But then they started getting, or you could literally walk in and be like, "Oh, cool, I can get this." But then they started getting super greedy, and you walk in and it'd be eBay prices for the action figures, and it's like, bro, you got people like me and Big Dub and all them guys that were funneling money to y'all. Now we're not paying, it's like, we don't mind paying a few dollars more because we're supporting you, but we're not paying no freaking $250 for a darn Conan Mezco. You can go to eBay sitting on my couch and do that. Like that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's why Kevin would get me when he would go to this one store. And then I was like the third time I went, I'm like, why do I keep coming out here with him?
Right. Well, see,
the Marvel Legends were still $19.99, but there they were like 20, 26, and 30.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, T-Man. I've seen that. Well, that's the one you and Kevin went on a toy hunt with before.
It went from like a honey hole to like, nah, bro. We good. We good.
The only one things they had that they couldn't give crazy prices on was Mezcos and Hot Toys.
Like Hot Toys, I understand because of the cost, to buying those from Sideshow half the time. It's like And like I have no problem if it's a $300, hot toy, paying $300 or
Yeah, I
$320
get
for it.
that because you ain't waiting. I
You
mean, none
know,
of that stuff. So that makes sense. That's
but
close enough. 275, and all of a sudden you pay 300, you walk in and get it. That's. But if
exactly,
that sucker was 400, nah.
the conversation at that point, be like, no, I think I'm good.
Sometimes I would be close to buying something, and then I would look up the Amazon price and be like, "Oh, it's $30 cheaper."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same day shipping. Like,
yeah.
yeah, right. Okay.
And I think that's kind of the problem we have now for even the Transformers people. Like, okay, you can only go to so many now unless you want to buy from overseas. Like, I buy pretty much all of my stuff either from Shozy, Terry's TF from overseas, or if I'm going to buy something locally, like in the States, it'll be Chosen Prime or Toy Dojo or something like that. But it's going to be dependent really on the price. I mean, like when the Dracula reissue came out, it was 170 across the ocean, but then it was like 240 here, plus shipping, plus taxes here. So of course I'm going to give my money to the Chinese seller. I can wait. I don't need to have it instantaneously.
They're good at capitalism better than fucking.
Exactly. It kind of gets old. The price gouging keeps going up and up and up and up and up, and we've seen that through the years. So now it's going to be, how far is it going to go? Like, do you say, all right, I'm done at one point, or like Marvel Legends? Like, I could be done with Marvel Legends and it would not kill
Oh
me.
yeah, easy.
And it's because I don't have the collection that I used to have anymore. I don't have the appreciation because, A, I have Mafex or I have Mezco or I have something a little more higher end.
My
Sometimes,
problem is the opposite. I pretty much have every daggone Marvel Legends. So I have like 3 or 4 different Cyclops.
and
Oh yeah.
I used to be that way. I used to have every
Me
legend.
too. I was right there with you.
It's just I got to the point where it's like, all right, do I need to have every legend? And do I really care about this Build-A-Figure? And so
Right.
when I started thinking that way, I'm like, okay, I don't need any of this stuff anymore. So I got rid of everything but like one thing of X-Men, one thing of Spider-Man, and then the zombie Scarlet Witch and zombie Iron Man and Cap. Because it's a zombie. Come on. I'm going to collect it. It's a horror figure.
Oh, I got the Wanda, the Cap, and the Iron Man. Those were just really awesome. So
I'm looking at Patrick's comment. Somebody was like suggesting, they're like, "Oh, you can come to Toys R Us here in Canada." So then I was looking at the prices of the stuff, and I was like, it would cost this much to get up there. And then when you do the exchange rate, I'm like, the figures are still $10 more than the US. I'm like, yeah, no.
Oh, I'll buy from Canada any day. Actually,
that's what's cool with CMD store, because you're like that is that connection. I mean, don't let nobody fool y'all. These folks getting them early and all that. We all know where they're getting them.
Exactly.
Besides the guys that are Hasbro sending it directly to them, that's a little bit different. But these other cats, nah, bro. I've been doing that for 8 years. Like,
CMD's always been good about that for that reason. It's like you can get it early, but then you are definitely paying for
oh
it.
yeah, you gonna do that. I mean, pay.
You want that, like when you had the Major Blood,
right,
early, and then you had the Mind, especially the Mind Bender. Like, I don't even want to know how much that Mind Bender cost from CMD.
it was stupid.
Yeah, I know it is. I know it's got to be a stupid price because there was no way to get that but from them or from Robot Kingdom, and you don't buy from Robot Kingdom because they're
I've never bought from them.
I used to buy a lot from them, but then they jacked up all their shipping rates after COVID, and you just can't afford it. You know?
Man, yeah. CMB store. I mean, and I'm not justifying none of that because you definitely gonna pay more, obviously. But some of their stuff, like their basic stuff, the regular, like the new X-Men wave that just hit with Chamber and all that. There again, I was like, all right, I think it hit this morning, so I looked through it, and it showed the evolution of my collection or collecting. Because all I did was like Chamber and Corsair. That was it. I don't care. I don't care about the build figure. Like T-Man said, I already got Cyclops. I ain't worried about that new version. I don't care. So I went with them too. Wasn't too bad.
Aren't they like regular price, but the shipping is high sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the shipping really that. Now some stuff like they're exclusive. They're gonna make you pay. Like the Mindbender, Serpent, all them guys. Any exclusive.
Yeah.
But there again, I mean, they get them insanely early. Like I'm talking 6 months. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, months and months.
But
but then
just depends on what it is.
Because I mean, that's the catch-22. Is like if you think about it, like you can spend say Mindbender was $80 shipped.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so $80, so it's 40 for the figure, 40 for shipping. Because we know that's what Mindbender himself cost in the U.S. So we spent 55 or something like that. I think after everything's done, that's not far off when you think about shipping
Right.
and stuff. Because all right, shipping from overseas, guaranteed if it's coming. Even Patrick's talking about outside of Toys R Us, anything from there, $25-$30 from Canada.
T-Man, just to give an example, like Chamber, for instance, it was instead of $24.99, it was $27.99 plus the shipping. So I mean, it ain't crazy.
Yeah, you definitely got to buy him and another character.
Yeah.
You gotta make yourself feel better. At least two of them.
Gonna get you.
Because I mean, that's what's going to get you every time is what you buy. Like if you're going to buy something,
you don't want to buy one little thing.
Yeah.
No.
Good strategy for them.
It's like when I bought from Sylvain and Donald Wood from Canada, we actually worked it out where they had a PO box kind of thing, forwarding service in New York. So I would ship to their box there in the States, and then they would drop off there, and it would ship from there to here, just to save on shipping cost. Because if it was for me sending to Montreal, it was $50 sometimes. But when we went to the New York thing, $15, $10, whatever it was, because it's U.S. prices. CMD, you're not going to get that lucky. They don't have a forwarding service. So just like My Primus, I don't know if you've used them before, T.
I've heard of them, but no.
They get all the NECA stuff in, like all the turtle stuff that was in Target's exclusives. My Primus would get it for the same cost as what Target would charge, but then their shipping would be on top of it because it's coming from Hong Kong. So you'd pay the extra $15-$20 just in shipping. But what got you was if you went over a certain weight class. If you went over a certain weight class, then that shipping would go way up there.
On the flip side, with CMD Store specifically now, and I'll say, hey, they're a great company, awesome customer service. There again, depending on how you look at everything. Never had a problem with them fast shipping. Like you are gonna pay shipping, but you're gonna get it that week straight up. It ain't But on the flip side of that, there's several times. I'll give you two examples: the Crimson Bats and the Crimson Guards. I have never seen any of those in store ever. So for me to get them from CMD Store, I'm like, that was a win for me because I'm like, well, I ain't never gonna see them anyway. So
and I'm kind of mad at T-Man now because they canceled my Crimson Guards and my Crimson Bats.
You see what I'm saying? That's the gamble, though. It's like, well, CMD Store didn't cancel nothing.
Yeah.
Like, well,
they're gonna come back.
Oh, they will. You know how it is. It's gonna be like one of those things like, hey, we screwed up. Do you want to buy it again?
Troop builders seem to be plentiful now. They'll just randomly come back.
And
they got me with those, man. I'm a sucker for red and black, and them color schemes. I just couldn't, man. I'm like, man, y'all got me. G.I. Joe Classic, man. Even the bats, even the kind of issues I had, thankfully I was able to pop them all back together. But they were the best color wise to me, in my opinion.
And I like the Crimson Guards. I still don't have those yet, and I don't have who was it? Zorana. I don't have Zorana yet. I got Dusty, but I don't have Zorana yet. Yeah,
she's been on Amazon just sitting there.
That's the thing is that wasn't a priority yet. For me, I wanted the blue barbecue because I like the color, and then I wanted to get Dusty because Dusty's going to have that Tiger Force version soon too. So I'm like, and you guys know I collect everything Tiger Force and Cobra Island. So I'm like, oh yeah. So like, do I just wait and buy it, or wait to see if it comes on sale somewhere? And so I did the sale that Hasbro had a couple weeks ago, and I got the Dusty for like $15, I think, or something like that. But the rest of them, I'm not worried. But I got my Serpentor finally and put together.
Hey,
I was so happy.
that's an awesome figure, right there.
It is, but you know what I did notice? The ankles are weak on it.
The only reason I hadn't noticed because once I put him on his little glider,
Yep.
I just left him there. So I don't know.
That's what I did, and then mine started doing the droop backwards off of the glider. So I'm like, okay, but you just got to get him sit just
You
right.
got to make him hold the bars.
Well, I got
That's
him
what-
holding his staff and holding the sword.
Ah, that's what. Okay,
Yeah.
mine's holding the bar.
This I command.
Get over here.
Now I can get you, like I said, dude. It's all up to you. Ain't no, the Mythic Legions, Santa Claus, and 2 of those sealed. These are all sealed. 2 sealed Crimson Guards. You just let me know, man. Just let me know.
Tree
And-
fit.
Let me know.
We'll work
Can you
out a
stand
deal.
Can you stand Indy next to the moose?
Yeah. Let's see here. Let's slide this guy over there.
So we can see what a 6-inch figure would be like next. That's moose
Can y'all
size.
see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big old moose.
The guy is humongous as well.
Well, yeah, he's freaking ridiculous. It's bad when you don't even know their names, but they just look so freaking awesome. You just buy it. It's like, man, I mean, look at it, dude. Just the
It's a
staff.
freaking
Hold on.
moose.
I mean,
Crazy
look
hammer
at the
guy.
staff on this dude. This double-headed goat, freaking. It's just insane. It reminds me like of an Odin type character, like an Asgardian or something. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
it reminds me of Golden Age.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. he does.
The small little like Valkyrie looking dude. Hey, Thor asked a good question here. I don't even know what it is. Say there. Did any of you guys pick up the X-Men Villains pack? Just got his from Amazon.
I have not, but I do want Strife and Random. I do want Random,
Oh, I didn't order that.
and that's about it.
I just want Strife. That's the only one I want.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be happy just for Strife, but
And the only reason why I want Strife is because that's the one character I could never get as a Marvel Legend before. Every time I saw Strife, he was always $150, $200.
see, that's when I jumped in the game 2014 Toys R Us exclusive,
Yeah.
and the whole thing was on the peg. I didn't know jack crap back then. I just knew I loved the X-Men. So I grabbed all of them. Next thing I know, people were selling Storm for $110, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I got 2 of them right here. But, okay,
That was when I started collecting Marvel Legends.
that's
But
exactly
that,
what I
that
did. too.
wave, I just kept looking at, and I was like, no.
And people wondered why back in the day when I'd have 12 Toy Biz Sentinels. Because, dude, I'm telling you, when I got into that sweet spot where you could buy the entire Toy Biz wave on eBay,
Yeah.
by the way, $120 all day long and build your own Sentinel.
I remember that.
Then it went crazy, but
Yeah, because you had it, and then Fernie had like 100 Sentinels. Like every time I find a Sentinel, I'm like, Fernie, you want to? Okay, I'll buy it.
I got up to 12, but it was epic looking, man. But it's still the best. I mean, in my opinion, it's still the best. I mean, looking Sentinel. I mean, as far as sculpt and all that.
I think today it's still the Sentinel, even after
Right.
the HasLab came out.
Yeah.
It's like I looked at it and I'm like, that.
Well, I walked in the collector room the other day. My HasLab Sentinel, he done did the back where his knees are. So we all know the story about his knees.
Yeah.
This sucker done. He leaned back like this. I'm like, man.
And you never had that issue with the Toy Biz one. I
Never.
mean, literally that one just stood. You just put him
Thank
up.
God
That's it.
Galactus, they put the ratchets in his knees. So he's up on the top
yeah.
shelf centerpiece, and he ain't moved, period. Like, that's the way they should have done the Sentinel. But anyway, that's beating a dead horse.
Yeah, at least they learned.
Yeah.
I mean, the hard part is like everybody that's got it now. I hope you have the Fantastic Four to go with Galactus. Because they're getting
I
expensive
don't
now.
yet, but I will. Not the Marvel Legends. I'm gonna get the Mezco versions.
Yeah.
And have him with the Galactus.
Yeah, to me that makes more sense because of how the scale is going to be and the design. Like that's what they had in the original 60s. It was cloth. It wasn't like this, super whatever stuff. So I think that'll look good. But I just want my damn Ghost Rider.
Somebody posted, I think it was Ageless Geeks.
Mm-hmm.
Getting them in stock this week or something. Believe it or not, Ghost Rider.
I can't wait. Because I've had that on. Literally, that's one of the few orders I left on Entertainment Earth, just for that reason. Because I was like, everybody else was gone with it. I'm like, all right, let me just stay there.
The Ghost Rider that's squatting in the package.
Yep.
I hadn't even looked. I mean, I know somebody got one months ago. The theory is like Buddy was working at the factory. I don't know if that's true. I'm just saying some no name somebody just, and they did a review, and it reminded me of T-Man years ago when I felt like he was my dad when he was like watching my video. He's like, man, there's some lights. I'm like, well, that guy did the same doggone thing. It's like, thanks for showing off the Ghost Rider 6 months early, but I can't see it. So.
Yeah.
It's always risky giving somebody a suggestion like, how are they going to take this?
Hey, and what I do, I said, all right, what's the link?
Exactly.
And the rest was history. There you go.
Well,
the Iron Spider-Man.
That's right. I actually redid the video later for that reason. Brightened it up.
I can't see. You gotta make it
I
brighter.
think George was doing the same thing too. They was talking about him doing shadow puppets.
Man. It's funny, you get so hyped up in a figure and your brain, you just automatically start recording it. You're like, man, I ain't even thinking about all this other stuff. But
how many of us did that during a toy hunt? Holy crap.
Yeah, moving too fast, walking like, slow down. Or the camera be too close to the toys. I'll be getting motion sickness. Like, ugh.
Yeah. It's a perfect, it's like, ooh, this.
Yeah, all right. What is it?
Right.
It's like, oh, that's cool. What was that? And then you already pan to the next thing. That was it actually, I tell you who told me the first time? Brock. Brock told me, slow your ass down. I can't see what you're trying to shoot. I miss that guy.
Yeah.
I wish he'd come back.
I know, man. Resurrecting. It's almost Easter, man. Resurrect Brock.
I know, right?
Yeah, you don't have to buy anything, just film it.
Yeah, he need to film that pimped out high-end basement he's got going on. Like,
I know.
But
I mean, he found his niche in Instagram. So, I mean,
hey.
All right, so we're gonna do something fun now. So we're gonna do the actual announcement of the giveaway. So,
drum roll ready.
Exactly. So while we do that, let's get this one. So, all right. So first things first, we got to have some rules, right? There's always rules with a giveaway, and so the way this rule is, there are no rules. As long as you are a true subscriber of the channel, you comment on this video, this live stream video, which one you want, because I've got a couple of different categories. So for the NECA folks, be giving away an American Werewolf in London.
How shiny it is.
To clarify, does the comment have to be in the live chat or the regular chat?
It can be either or. I don't care. So
the comment section of the video or the live stream.
Exactly. Either one. Like I said, all you have to do, And only thing we're going to say is if you want the NECA one, say NECA. I want NECA. Okay? So you get somebody will get the NECA. Okay? All right.
And I've
Now,
only seen that guy one time in store, so that was it.
this one was the one I found that one day. This was the fourth one I needed. But what happened was the Scooter found me a fourth one. So I took the one Scooter gave me and I kept the one that I bought and then give it to somebody else because I've got all four of them with the actual werewolf.
Oh yeah, that I saw that werewolf one time too. That sucker look crazy.
All right. So for my Marvel Legends fans, I got some legends for y'all. So, and you're not going to get one, but you're going to get three. Okay.
Oh, you feeling froggy tonight?
I am. So, and these are all vintage. So you're going to get Wolverine. Okay.
Nice. The best there is at what he does. Oh, snap.
Spiral.
Okay.
The best deal they've had in Marvel Legends recently.
This is
Absolutely.
This is my Marvel Legend of the year. Period.
Like,
dot.
oh, yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's pretty awesome.
And Phoenix.
Okay. She's good, too.
So you get all three of them. And so that's why I bought 2 sets of them way back when.
I might have to enter, and if I win, just keep Phoenix and give the other 2 away on my channel.
You do whatever you want to do. I do not care. So for
all right, I'm gonna get out and then unsubscribe and then resubscribe.
Dude, y'all can play too. I don't care. I told Team in that too in the beginning of the video. Anybody who wants to play can play. So, all right.
Yeah, that's what I do. If they know the person that wins, everybody know that I know them. I don't care.
I don't care either.
I do the drawing the same way.
Yep. And so for Transformers fans, we've got you're going to get a kickback.
Okay.
You're going to get the vintage style box hard head. This is the Headmasters, the Japanese Headmasters.
That's cool.
And then what you got, boys, just saw last weekend that I got.
Oh.
Is the Sparkless Seeker. This was the Netflix War for Cybertron that was only at Walmart, which I found. So I'm like, okay, I figure I'll give that to somebody.
Nice.
That should get you a bunch of entries right there.
I hope so. We'll see. And then for my Coffin people, going to get both Hell Witch and Lady Death.
Oh, I might have to enter for them.
So you know how much these are, right? Each.
Oh yeah, I do too. I don't even collect them, but I know.
Yeah, that store I went to, I think they were trying to charge $80.
Yep,
$80
each. Came out. So think about it, 150 to 160 value. And then for my comic folks, like Bladen and everybody, I'm going to do a mystery box. So you're not going to know what's in it. And no, it won't be just Coffin. It'll be a mixture of different things. So that's how it's going to work. And so how long am I going to do this? Well, we're going to do this until I get to episode 500. So it depends. It really depends on how if I get off my ass and do a lot more videos, or B, it could take a while. But rules are pretty simple. Like I said, just comment in this video, either in the chat or in the comments down below, which one you want. NECA, Marvel Legends, Transformers, Coffin for the 2 figures, or the mystery box. And
that's a lot of generosity there, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I figured we got to go big on this one. I mean, it's been 600 videos today, and then it's also going to be 500 episodes, which, a lot of people ask me, what's the difference? Well, anything that's like recorded like in stores or in like hunts or whatnot, I usually made those episodes. What's in the box? That was an episode. Um, Everything else, like lives and stuff, don't count towards that episode count. So lives are lives. That's the way I saw it. So, but yeah, that's our rules. And like I said,
Pretty simple.
when I get to episode 500, that will be the giveaway announcement then. So tell your friends, tell your folks. If you got people want to get free stuff, this is where you get it.
I am on episode too many right now.
Well, you've been doing it a lot longer than I have too, T.
And I used to try to be every day until the past couple of years.
And I tried that. I tried that for a bit. I remember I got challenged to do like a video a day for 2 weeks, and Lord, that was hard.
Yeah.
I mean, that was hard trying to do. I think I got this day 7. I said that's all I can do. Like I got halfway through, and I was burnt at that point.
One day I did like 7 videos back to back. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to have all those to edit, and then I'll be able to do more. And then after I finished editing them, I didn't feel like filming nothing.
I'd always get caught up in my own excitement to share my stuff. And I would do 3, 4, 5 videos, at once. Like I would do all these. And then, but man, then I ended up posting like 2 or 3 on YouTube. I'm like, dang it. I was trying to spread them out, but I just couldn't do it.
All right.
Yeah.
There's a few people that I watch that do that. They'll have like 5 uploads at once. I'm like, slow down. I didn't watch all of them.
And that's what I've learned. I've learned that at least have 2 days in between videos. Give yourself that break. That way everybody could watch what you had before you get to the next one. It's like,
because they watching other things, so it is what
exactly. They ain't watching just us.
Or to maybe upload 1 in the morning and then 1 in the evening. Some people have time to watch.
I try to do 2 a week, 2 uploads, and then 1 live stream a week. Try being the big key word.
Yeah, the live, man, is just, I don't know. That's my favorite of all time. Yeah. Just being live on YouTube or Instagram, whatever.
I just have fun. I mean, live is, like Bladen and us, we all have fun on the ethereal side together. And we'll be there just like us, a couple of hours, going over stuff.
Right.
It's just fun. You don't really think about like your time and what you're going through, everything. You just have fun. And that's what I really wanted my channel to be about was like, there's no set thing. Like people have set things with their channels, and I don't really have that, because I'm all over everything because I like so much stuff, just like you guys do.
The Dog is an entertainer, so he definitely should like live.
Yeah, man, live stuff, but I can just feed. I like feeding off other people's personalities too,
it makes it easy, especially like for us 3. We've 3 been friends for years and years and years, so we've known each other in and out through good, bad, ugly, you name it. We've been there. And actually, he says it really good, effortlessly says it, show the whole community love. It's fun. It's, it's good to see each other get better. That's what we should do. We should be supporting one another and having fun together.
Right.
It's like literally when I go to a convention here and it's me, Rube, and Craig and Cincy, we'll just sit around for an hour or so just talking and having fun, catching up. To me, that's part of it. Just being able to enjoy one another's company. It all started out with toys for us, and then James and I realized that we loved some of the same characters in comics, so it made it even easier for us to get along. But Catch-22 being, we ain't getting no younger either. So we all we in our 40s now. T-Man's in his 90s.
That's what it feels like sometimes.
Grandpa T.
And Bladen, you're probably the same age as us, so
I'm not 40 yet, but I'm pretty darn close. I'm feeling it.
Oh yeah. Well, you're military like I am, so you've been through it enough. It does some wearing and tearing on your body.
Oh yeah.
Old enough to have to be super careful standing up on a chair or something.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember who shared that. It reminds me of that video that that black comedian. I forgot. I don't even know his name. Wasn't
I
nobody
forgot
super
it
famous.
too.
Yeah, anyway, he's standing up on the chair. That was funny though. He's right. He's like, man, when you're in your 20s, just jump up here. When you're 40s, you just kind of wait a minute. Let me
Yeah, you
creep
take
up
one
here.
step at a time getting off the chair.
Make
But in your
noises,
20s,
too.
you jump off.
Yeah, you ain't jumping off. Because if you jump off, you know you're gonna fall or you're gonna break something.
Mhm.
I was
You
laughing
ain't-
at how true that video was. I was like, man, and I subliminally, I guess, didn't realize that. But then after watching that video, I really realized, especially plumbing, man, like, I'm like, all right,
Do you make noises yet when you bend over?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
actually.
It's
For
in
no reason,
It's
just
like,
making noise.
I tell you, I think the worst part is like when you're sitting down on the floor and you finally decide that you have to get up. You're like, oh God, that don't feel right.
I just thank God for my awesome wife because she's like, man, for Christmas, she bought me this big old thing of lavender mint bath salts. And I'm like, are you trying to say something? But it was the best thing ever, man. I just sunk it in the bath salt.
Hey, I'm 100% on board with that. You know why? Hey, we're old now, so guess what? You get arthritis, you get
Time to
all this kind of
relax.
stuff. It'll relax your body, and you're gonna feel $100 after the fact. You know, there ain't no more this let's be the He-Man thing anymore. When you get a certain age, you're like, nope, you let it go. Whatever
Right.
helps you move, you're gonna do it.
I remember moving like a whole house basically by myself.
Oh,
I
yeah.
cannot do it. I don't think I can move a room by myself.
It's like you remember when we were younger, we could move houses and get stuff done, packed in and out, be done. You know, and I look at it now, I'm like, ah, crap, that's gonna take forever to put all that away.
And then you try, like I bought this truck, this 4-wheel drive. Now that might sound cool, but the problem with that is the bed's like this high instead of this high. So when you try to throw a water heater up on, I was like, man, I didn't think this through very good, man. This truck might look cool, but yeah, right. Me and the guy that I just left his house. That's why I was late coming to the live stream. His water heater busted. He's in it. He was 68, almost 70. And here I am, 42. And we're both sitting there. He's like, man, we're trying to pick this water heater up. And the neighbor, he looked like he's like 30. He's like, hey, guys, y'all need any help? I'm like, I mean, if you ain't doing nothing, I mean, slow this thing up.
Like, get over here.
Get your. It's fun. Like, we all laugh about my kids because I have 5 kids, and so where I come from, when you have a kid, that's called free labor, and I guarantee I'm still using that free labor forever because you know why? You bend down, you go get that from me. Or you crawl underneath there, you go get that from me.
Well, I don't know if y'all just saw a hand me this. That's exactly what just happened. Our 12-year-old, he just spilled this
there you go,
water.
Paul. Yeah.
The only thing is, if they're too young and you're looking for something, they're always like, ooh. And then you're like, what? You found it? And then it'll be something completely different. I'm like, get out of here.
Completely different. Just go back to your room.
I don't know, man. My 4-year-old's good. We tell her to go do something, she'll go do it, and she'll bring it back to us. But it's one of those things. That, I can tell my 4-year-old to do it, but then my 10-year-old looks at me like I'm crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what do you mean you want me to do that?
Oh yeah, I got a 4 and a 10-year-old. You're right, the same thing. Because now the 4-year-old, the first 4-year-old, my 12-year-old when he was 4, he was the first one. But now the third one, that's 4. He wants to do everything his big brother do. So he's all hyped up. Man. Yeah, I'll go get it. Yeah, go get it. Keep that same energy. Keep that same excitement. Bring that in your remote. Bag of chips.
Yeah, and I put them to work. Like we go out in the yard and work. We do everything. Because you know what? It's either if they come help me do it, or I'm gonna have to do it all. and Dad don't like doing everything on his own anymore. You know why? Dad, not gonna say Dad got lazy, but Dad gets tired, especially after 60 hours a week.
Yawning already.
Well, and you're an hour ahead of us too, James, and so are you, T. So, but that's the catch-22. Is like we're older now. We've got to learn how to respect ourselves, our bodies, and start using everybody that can help us out. Because that's what I would do. I mean, like even when I move, I hire people now. I understand why people hire movers now for that reason.
No. Back then, you're like, that's dumb, but now you're like, no,
Right.
Exactly. All I got to do is say, put it in there, do it this way, put it there. All right, we're done.
That's like cutting grass. Like we've been in this house almost 13 years, and I've been redneck country. We just cut the grass short as you can, and freaking the shorter you cut it, the less you got to cut it.
Yeah.
Well, moving into this house, we got this thing called sod, and this redneck didn't know nothing about all that. And so the first time I cut it, the darn professional landscaper drove by. He stopped. He busts out laughing. I was like, "What is it?" He said, "Man, you burned your grass." I was like, I didn't know what he was talking about. I said, "Man, I didn't burn my grass." He said, "Yeah, you did, dude. You cut it too short." With apparently sod, you have to have the blade up like 3 inches. So I said, "Screw that, dude." I was like, "Man, how much you charge to cut my grass?" I never thought in my life I'd pay somebody to cut my grass. And that ain't bragging. That's just saying, "Nah, I'm good. But you cut the grass, I'll do the plumbing."
Exactly.
And when I get home, it's cut. So I'm like, yeah. So I get it. I totally get it.
I have to. My allergies are the worst. Even if I'm wearing a mask or something, all that fresh cut grass and pollen stuff. Just go right through it.
Oh, I'm right there with you now on that. I got this time of year. It's a Zyrtec every morning. Right? If I don't, I'm gonna be. Ooh.
See, I don't have that problem. I just get the dryness. I get dried out real easily. It doesn't matter if depending on the time of the day, I'll be dried out, I'll be hacking and coughing, trying to get the gunk out. And I'm like, God, man, I feel old now. That's just part of it. Old. Yeah, you're right, Fig. This is right.
From toys and comics to old people.
Fig Life, a bunch of old farts.
Exactly. Yeah. Pretty much.
We all are.
Fig Life had the silver hair years ago, though. I remember that. So don't be talking now. No.
Oh, I remember. I remember. I was like, wait a minute. He's always had that. Him and Alex both.
Him and old El Chambo, and Fig Life. El Chambo keeps this so short now. He done figured it out. He's like, I'm gonna just.
Yeah, there's a reason why I do this too now. Right? There's a reason why it says shade because it's white now. It ain't even gray. I have white hair now.
And skip the step. If I ever start going bald now, I'm just shaking straight up. Like, and I ain't messing around with it. I ain't gonna sit here and try to flip something over my 3 strands of hair. Nah, bro. Just go ahead and we definitely ain't doing the little George Jefferson, the little ring.
Oh yeah,
nah.
We that would be the fun part. Is like, we've all got hair. Like in my family, my dad, he still has a full set of hair, and he's in his 60s now. So I'm like, at least I have that to look forward to. Except it's going to be white when I'm 50.
Right.
My dad's looking at him. He's still got brown hair. He's got more brown hair than I got now. And I'm like, what happened?
Stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Effort's been gray since 23. Yeah. I think my gray came when I was about 30.
It's like me being in ministry all these years, man. Hey, ministry is not stressful. I'm 20 years old. Y'all don't see the silver in my beard. Yeah, right.
I know a man when I was a kid. He was like early 20s. All of his hair was gray.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, my guitar player, dude, he went 100% bald at 16 years old.
Damn.
Now he can grow a doggone beard though, boy. I mean, just like it all went from here to here, like 16 though, like it's crazy.
He doesn't see. This is what I talked about with Bladen. He's already on the other page already.
Yeah, I finished these.
So
here I do a little bit of work, and then I'll have to get out and feed the kid and all that. But yeah.
So Bladen, do you? I mean, obviously, I know what you're doing here, but like if somebody contacted you and say, "Hey, I want a custom piece of whatever," do you do that kind of stuff?
Yeah, that'd just be like commissions. Yeah, that's always
Yeah,
on the table. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's kind of the thing. Like over this last, I want to say, last 6, I don't know, maybe 8 months. That's one thing that's kind of really exploded in my area is that I bought more art than just just toys and comics. Like I kind of straight. I still buy a crap ton of comics, but artwork is where you're going to start realizing that you like seeing everything. It's like when you go from a little like page, like your standard comic page, to an 11 by 17, and it's blown up, and you can actually see the full out cover. You'll
Yeah.
realize, like, okay, you start appreciating art as a trade, and that's what I started doing. It's like I have tons of new artwork in here. One being from Underland, from our series in Ethereal, to having Coffin stuff, to having dynamite pieces and stuff from different artists. And I've gained a big appreciation for art as a trade, but also art as a profession. Because I can see what these guys are doing, like Bladen, April, and the other people, and how it changes like the dynamic. Like, if you have a good comic book today, it's got a phenomenal story, but you have crappy art to go with it.
Right.
You're not going to really want to stay in tune with it.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, it's not appealing at all.
But
Like
when
when
you
that new Beast Wars comic came out, I
Mhm.
saw I was interested because it's Beast Wars, but then I saw the artwork and I was like, yeah, I don't like that so
It
much.
sucks that it sucks that you even have to feel that way though. Yeah, you like would
Right.
expect them to get the best person to do the best job, and like you think they would want to make money too, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then there's guys that just, man, like John Ramada Jr., Adam Kerbert, or Andy Kerbert. Like,
Yeah.
it don't matter. You don't have to show me. You just show me one panel. I know I can tell you exactly who it is. Right?
Yeah.
So you got those guys too. That, of course, that's me being a personal fan of those guys. But I can tell you straight up without even opening the panel or the comic up to know their art, no matter what they do. So,
But that's the difference. Is that them because that's some of your favorite artists. Like, for example, Neil Adams is one of my favorite artists of all time. I can look at any book.
Yeah, I can look at his too. Yeah, Neil Adams, he's a good example too.
I can see that's a Neil book, or that's a Dick Giordano did the inks
Jack
on
Kirby
that.
or what?
Kirby,
Cool.
like those are evident drawers and artists that you can see and say, okay, I enjoy that artwork. I enjoy seeing that. And that when you see it, there's going to be typically a good story with it too.
And those are timeless. Yeah, it stood the test of time. Whereas you don't know all the stuff that's coming out today. You don't really know what's going to stick around for the next 20, 30, 60 years.
And I'm not saying this because Bladen's on here with us, but like I really I've never seen anything you've ever done. But I mean, I've never even heard of you. Nothing against that. But anyways, I really enjoy your art. Like from what you've seen, the cover you did with the girls on there and all that. I mean, look, that's
the stuff that he's been drawing tonight. I've been loving like that.
Yeah, I mean that looks awesome to me. But
well, thank you. Yeah.
And
like that's a comic I could actually sit there and be like, okay, you got me on that. So, the whole thing.
Well, yeah. Again, I'll just plug myself again. Babe's Gore Dinosaur #3 is currently live on Kickstarter. Or sorry, #4 is currently live on Kickstarter right now. We're about halfway through the campaign. We met funding, but obviously everything that's more helps get stretch goals, and then that also helps us fund the next project and stuff like that.
I'll definitely check. I'll get with Nate. I'll check all that out.
Yeah,
I'll give you about 2 seconds.
And Nate, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you having me on.
Oh, I appreciate you coming. It's kind of the catch-22 is that I wouldn't be in where I'm at today if it wasn't for comic books, and I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for toys and Transformers. And you guys have been my friends, for a while, and I appreciate it. And that's why I wanted everybody that could come tonight, because this was a big deal for me. To be here for 600 videos and being able to still talk about the things I love and what you guys love, that's a huge thing for me. It's being able to have fun. And I mean, Dewdog and I started doing, I don't know what, maybe a year ago when I started the things back. It was like we decided to kind of like change it to be a more like a just a free for all. And then what we found out is that it was a lot better just to have fun versus a structure.
Well, if you're interested, yeah, that's going to fuel your passion. So yeah,
Got more of a flow to it.
Yeah. And when you have like-minded people, it helps too. I'll tell you that in a heartbeat.
Oh, definitely. I've interviewed a couple people on my channel where it was like the personality, my personality obviously is loud and charismatic and all that. I talk with my hands and all that. But man, if I can't get somebody, I'm not saying you got to be as charismatic, but you can't just be dead as a doornail, like buddy.
No.
Like, like we got to bring it up a little bit there, bud.
Exactly. I mean, and that's the fun part. You've got to be able to talk. I mean, we come from a world where there's a lot of introvertedness. This is a avenue to help people maybe come out of that piece, And granted, it's a live stream, and this is being broadcast on YouTube, which that means anybody on YouTube could see this. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Just be yourself, enjoy it, have fun, and you'll see where it goes from there. I mean, that's kind of the catch.
I always tell people you probably have more in common with the people that you're nervous about than not. So nobody's here
good
to
point.
That was the one thing I had to learn too. Like we would all go to conventions and whatnot, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go see this artist, this writer, or something like that. I want to get their autograph and stuff. And then you're like, oh, they're way up here and I'm way down here. No, it's not that way. It's
right.
It's we're all just normal people. We do things differently. We have a different job, or we're doing this, and we're all just trying to strive to make it. So
that's what I was explaining about the Mythic Legions guys. I mean, they were so down to earth. I almost forgot who they were. I was like, man, y'all okay, all right. I mean, it felt like a friend. You know what I mean? Like, not trying to sound cheesy, but
it is. I mean, it's like Bladen and I are friends. And Dustin and April, and the comic community is a little different than the toy community. The toy community can be pretty toxic at times.
Right.
So can the comic world. Don't get me wrong, but it seems like on the comic side, we typically try to take care of each other a lot easier versus the cutthroatness of toys. I mean, like literally, you go try to buy a toy today, and somebody's gonna yell at you, "Oh, I wanted to buy that or this or that." It's like I don't really see that a lot unless it's like a debacle in comic world. There's been definitely some debacles over the last couple of years at conventions with comics, but it just seems more down to earth. And once you realize everybody's just down to earth like that, then you're going to feel that weight come off of you, as a person. And then you can start talking to them and then understanding they're normal people. They have the same issues you have. They might have family. Like Bladen was saying, he's got to go feed his kids. That's what I have to do at night. I have to feed my kids and, get them ready for bed. Because you know what? We all have jobs. We all have real things to do too. We have personal lives. And a lot of people forget that. They think that you're only doing this stuff. Like if you're doing toys or you're doing comics, that's your only. No, you have a real family too. A lot of the times.
Well, the thing with me and you specifically, comics is what, and a lot of people don't realize it, unless obviously me and you tell them, but comics is what got me into action figures. So when I saw that first, Wolverine action figure, and I'm like, holy crap, I've been reading comics. Bro, another thing, comics actually help me read. Like some people don't realize that either. If you're actually into something and passionate about it will, of course, anything, the more you read, the better. But comics got me excited about reading,
That's awesome.
And for me, the thing with comics was I got to the point of like, I want more than 22 pages to read. Like, I want to know what the next story is. I want to see where this is going to go. Like, a good example, when Batman Nightfall came out, when you were reading the storyline of Batman getting his bat, you wanted to see what's going to happen. Is somebody going to stop Bane? What's going to happen to Batman? And then you see Robin taking over as Batman while the real Batman's gone. You know, so
That's why we spend $300 on ambulances.
Exactly.
Big old
Now-
hard.
But in the 90s and 80s, we couldn't do it. They didn't have them.
Nope. Oh, yeah.
You were lucky if you had a trade paperback or a graphic novel back then, luckily. But now, I mean, we have it so easy now as comic readers. You know, you can pick up an omnibus, a huge, you know, graphic novel surplus, and you can read that storyline and get through all of it.
My coolest one that I take pride in, I guess if you want to call it that, is the Age of Apocalypse, the entire freaking thing,
Yeah.
dude. I'm talking about from Legion Quest all the way the M Crying Crystal, all that, man, just had that massive book. First of all, it's cool to have it in a collection. Second of all, like you said, I can just, you know, that nostalgia from when I was 13, 14 years old when that storyline hit. And now I can sit here as a grown man and whip out the whole darn book and just get lost in it, you know?
And that's what happened to me in 94, 95 was Lady Death came out. And that's what changed my whole world for comics was Lady Death. And then I picked up Vampirella from Harris Comics. And then after that, I was like, okay. I mean, I still read X-Men and Wolverine here and there, you know, like Age of Apocalypse came out. And then after that, it went to crap. It literally went to crap for a lot of X-Men comics. So I stopped reading a lot of it, especially, and I don't want to poke fun at Grant Morrison, but I couldn't stand his version of the X-Men with the suits, the design.
See, that's a great example. I'm glad you brought that up. That's a great example of artwork I did not enjoy at all. I just that's something a good example of. I just was like, I don't,
you know,
that whole X-Men run right in there.
That's why I stopped reading X-Men. That was one of the main reasons I stopped, because it didn't entertain me. And if you don't entertain me as a reader, I'm not going to buy your book. You know,
I'll tell you somebody good that's kind of a sleeper, I guess, but maybe not to y'all. But what's his name? Ian Churchill. Is that I like his art, but you know.
On the Grant Morrison, that was when they had like the puffy black jackets.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Correct.
And all of them coming in, and then
I didn't like that much, but I kept buying. But
man, what's her
think,
name?
I think what hooked me, that's when Scott first was in a relationship with Emma, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
I wanted to see what was going to happen with that when Jean found out and almost killed her.
Yeah, and it was funny. Like, they could have built that whole storyline up, and what happened? Jean Grey said, "Okay, you can have them." I'm like,
oh, okay.
I was like, from
40 years of relationship. Right.
You threw away all of that, and then there's no like fight scene. There's no nothing. There's nothing to bring it up to the point of that.
I was scared for Emma.
I thought
she was gonna get murdered.
I remember that story very well. Yeah, you walked in the room and Emma was disguised as Phoenix or whatever, or not disguised, but had her, projected or whatever.
Yeah, and I tell you, that's the one reason I love this. I see that Bladen's. He had to jump out. Right.
And that's when Beast started looking like.
That's exactly right. That's that whole. Yeah, I didn't like that. I was like, you look kind of. I just don't like that artwork, but that's just me personally. But when they took his face away, like his snout, made it that flat looking.
Well, what got me is they trying to make the X-Men look like the movies. Because remember, this is when X-Men the movie came out at the same time, so they tried to have the same suit look. They were trying to sell it, and I get that, but it's like no, don't do that.
Now you want to talk about ugly? Now speaking of that, all those suits, and then that's when Hasbro first bought Marvel or took over Marvel Legends, and they made those versions. I was like, ooh,
and they are still crappy looking today as they were back 20-something years ago.
That was rough. That's the dark ages of Marvel Legends. It's like, yay, we're back. No, you're not. You're not. Matter of fact, get back. Take it off.
Well, and so Bladen just messaged me. His phone died, so he's out for the night. So it's just us. But thank you, Bladen, for coming tonight and doing the artwork with us and kind of letting us see where your art is.
Yeah, and put his link to that Kickstarter in the video too. I want to check that out.
Yep, I
And
did. I
so
put it in the chat.
Oh, okay,
So we'll
cool,
do it.
cool.
Yeah, and it's a Fig Life brought up a good thing, a real good topic actually. So he could never get into comics, but he loves comic art, and that's kind of where like original art would be good for you, because of that. Like you would appreciate having the artwork of the covers or having the sequential art, versus just having the comic book in your hand, because you might not want to read it, but you might want to just see it. And that's kind of like what I do. We have commissions. You can have cover art. You could have sequential art. But what I always do is I try to get a little bit of both. Like if I'm gonna get artwork, well, one, it's expensive. It's not cheap. You better know what you're buying, and two, get something that you're really gonna like something that you'd be proud to display in your room, or in your house. Like there's stuff in my room I probably couldn't put out in my house because of children. And other people would be like, "Hey, what's that?" Well, come here. Let me,
Like, what is this?
Yeah, but I mean, there's the thing. Is that you just kind of got to go with the flow with it sometimes.
Well, there's nothing cooler than having the graded comics and Fig Life. This might be for you too, man. Get into a couple graded that's already slabbed, because it's just the art. It's just the cut. Well, it's the whole comic, but you can mount it on your wall, put it on your shelf. I mean, it looks really cool when you have the actual action figures of the person on the cover. That's just a really cool combination, man. So
like right in front of it.
Yeah, that'd be a cool display.
I slacked up on comics when my daughter was born. I dwindled down to just Transformers, and then I kept reading those until I started doing YouTube. Now it's like my attention span, I can't even force myself. I'm like, I used to be able to read comics.
Fig Life, to answer your question, this is the Mythic Legions. I might have to get the actual box out, because he basically is kind of like an Asgardian look. And the thing about Mythic Legions, I don't know how much you know about them. I'm learning too, so I'm not no specialist on it. But the way they explained it to me, Four Horsemen Studios, basically they make all of their stuff to where it's customizable or swappable, and some of the stuff you can paint or whatever. But that's literally the purpose when they make their characters or their animals or whatever, or their army builders, trolls or whatever it might be. They specifically make, like, all these antlers, you could pop these off. So you can give this guy 3 or 4 different looks with one figure. And then they've got expansion packs. I went ahead and bought his expansion pack. It's got shields and smaller antlers and different helmets. I mean, you could literally take this one figure and make 3 figures with this guy. So and like the moose. I'm sorry, Nate. The moose, for instance. I told T-Man this, but you can make a female version of the moose. All these antlers are removable there again, and you can swap them out if you want the small antlers on this guy on the moose. You can do all kind of crazy stuff.
Well, I was going to ask is, for the moose, what was the price range for the moose?
$70.
That's not bad for an articulated moose like that. Mm-hmm. And it's sort of like what they did with the Headless Horseman.
Right. Yeah, retail when it first releases, $70. Now people were trying to, selling it for about 1.5 years there because it was sold out. That's another thing about them. When they sell out, I will say I give them props. That's it. I mean, they might make a variant version like that Santa Claus or Father Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But that's it. You ain't getting the red one no more unless you get it third party or something like that. But once they gone, man, it's game over. So like the Headless Horseman, it was so popular. And they had it on display, but they had the second release that they're about to release. But it's a different color scheme, different paint apps, different things like that. So, it gives you a second chance technically, but it's not the same exact, first release. It's a true second, whatever you want to call it.
And I don't mind those.
It's too late at night to be thinking about the real words.
Right. Right. My brain's about to doze off.
It's like fans' toys. You're like, or Transformer third part. You're like, yeah, it's got a name, but I know it's Cliff Jumper.
Yeah.
It's like half the ones we get for names. You're like, why did they even name it that? I
Like-
don't get it.
Optimus Prime named Henry. Okay.
I didn't realize that until there again, Toy Atlanta this past weekend, they had the Mythic Legions design team actually has been designing stuff for decades for all these other companies, like Diamond Select, the He-Man stuff, Masters of the Universe.
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't know that. So all those same sculptors are these guys. But
Yep.
that was
Well,
pretty cool.
it's like McFarlane. I mean, they got the Toy Biz engineers on their side. That's why you're seeing the feet, the hands, some of the styling, and
See, I didn't know that either.
the painting. There's a lot of Toy Biz engineers went over there.
Okay, well, it makes sense.
Because there's very few of them that actually stayed with Hasbro after everything happened. Because if you notice the different designs, they went like super not painted. You know, we were bare bones for a long time until maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago, where they started adding a lot of paint, you know, to their figures.
The thing I'll give Hasbro props as far as, man, I'm talking current, like everything being released at the moment. Dude, the facial stuff, the face paint. Remember back in the day when Misty Knight and Rogue would be all
Yeah.
crazy? Dude, like if they get it dead on, like they've been getting it. Like I got the new Rogue, the Savage Land Rogue with the green suit. Man, her face looks incredible. Like it actually looks like makeup, and I mean it's like on a
I
112.
still have a cockeyed Rogue.
Oh yeah.
Misty Knight was the worst.
Man,
Every single figure, I couldn't believe it.
that
I
was
was like,
terrible.
how was every single figure cockeyed? Like, how did
But
they
what
do
they've done is took the movie MCU stuff and moved it to the comic, you know, and obviously more colorful, but they took that same printing or whatever.
that? Yeah. Now, one thing I like about Hasbro over Toy Biz is the proportions and the sculpting. Like, they don't have those round ball hips.
Oh yeah, for
I
sure.
never liked that too much.
Yeah, I think that was the one thing. Even like Diamond Select today, they still got them atrocious hips on a lot of their figures.
I'm surprised they didn't do it on this guy.
I am too.
They did not, thankfully, but I mean, that's, I don't know.
That's one thing I cannot stand with Diamond Selects is when they do those hip things. I'm like, nope.
Well, dude, the ugliest one they released this year, or recent, is that Moon Knight. Oh my god, and Black Panther. They both got those ball. I'm like, where y'all? What? Man, ugly. Ain't no way I'd buy that.
No.
It just ain't happening, buddy.
Yeah, the 7-inch. I mean, and it's 7-inch scale too versus 6-inch scale. So it's like, all right, if I want to buy an offsuit like Apocalypse, that's perfect. He should be bigger than normal 6-inch figures.
Absolutely.
You know, make him.
That's why you only see one Diamond Select sitting right here.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah, he's definitely variable. I don't think Apocalypse has a height.
No, I mean,
Right.
it's like, you know, that's why so many of us had the Toy Biz one forever, the big one, because you wanted a big version and you wanted a smaller version. And so when the Build-A-Figure one came out a couple of years back, that was perfect. That was your perfect size 6-inch scale one because he was still a little bit bigger than a 6-inch figure, but he wasn't the giant, enormous Toy Biz one.
yeah, I'm happy with this one. I mean, he's straight up. He's got the height on him. He's taller than the Build-A-Figure a little bit. Not we ain't talking about drastically, but just enough to where just a little bit bigger than I like. So. And those interchangeable hands, bro. That's like animated series right there, man.
I got the animated series one, on the vintage card, the purple and blue one. And I was so happy that it actually came with accessories. That it wasn't just hands.
You got that cannon with the blaster. And all that,
Like that's what he should have had when the Build-A-Figure came out.
Yeah.
Remember they made you buy Angel to get one of his accessories?
Yeah, that was wild. Yeah, the little hook. Actually, this little hook piece.
Yeah, the
or clamp. I mean, whatever it is.
And then you had to get Wolverine to get the cables. That's the only way to get. And everybody didn't want 8,000 Wolverines.
All right, that made me mad.
Dude, that was wow. It was
And poor
Hasbro.
George. I felt so bad for George. He just needed the head from freaking who was it?
Gladiator. Yeah. Okay, $150 later. Yeah. Okay.
And you can actually buy the whole BAF itself for cheaper than that.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. Well, fellas, I'm gonna have to run. Nate, congrats
Thank
on
you guys. I
the
appreciate
success and the giveaway. That's an awesome giveaway.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just gonna go over giveaway one more time for anybody that might not see it. So Fig Life. This is Nate's mega giveaway. So we are going to be giving away a bunch of stuff on episode 500. Not this one. Today's just the announcement. So all you have to do.
How many more for 500?
Let's see. I think like 5 episodes.
Oh,
but yeah. It's
okay.
like, yeah.
Well, hurry up.
So it's about a 3 or 4 weeks, man.
No, probably next week or the week after. We'll see. So all you have to do is like normal and mine, just comment down below, and you got to be a subscriber. I will check if you're subscribed. Just put NECA if you want this NECA figure. All right, and if you want some Marvel Legends, I'm giving away a Wolverine. I'm giving away a Spiral and a Dark Phoenix.
All 3 as a set, by the way.
As a set, you get all 3 together. And then if you want Transformers, you can get yourself a Legacy Kickback. You can get yourself a G1 Retro. Titans Return. They don't know what the hell they're supposed to be. Headmaster from Hardhead. And then you can get the Walmart exclusive Sparkless Seeker. So that's part of it. You just got to put Transformers down below. Or if you want something a little more risque, we do some risque stuff. Lady Death and Hell Witch. And what I didn't show everybody, which I'll show now, is that this one's signed. This comes with a signature from Brian Polito. This is signed.
Nice.
For Hell Witch. And then let's see, do I have one? I don't think so. Let me see.
What are they called?
So these are from Loose Collector. These are executive replicas. So this is Lady Death, and then this is Hell Witch. And you just got to put Coffin in the comments down below. So Coffin. Or one of Nate's mysterious boxes. So just put mystery box down below.
Might be an old pizza in there.
There ain't gonna be no old pizza in there. And it won't be no Batman cereal either from 1989.
Hey, that cereal might be better than the Mad Still Batman.
I guarantee it will be. So yeah, all you have to do is comment in the live stream or comment in the video down below, one of those categories. And I'm gonna go back later too tonight. I'll put that down in the comment section, in the description of the giveaway. So that way we can tag people. So go send it out. I'm giving, and it's all free. International free too. Not just American.
Okay, big dog.
International
big
free.
Dog.
Big video.
I remember when I did that, man, back in the day when I first started my YouTube channel. I was like, oh, everybody, man, worldwide.
Yeah.
This dude in Singapore won a keychain, bro. $50-something. I said, never again. I did ship it though. He got it. So I was like, whoo, $50.
Yep.
God, no. Oh, man. Y'all learned that quick.
Yep.
The last thing I sent overseas cost $30. It wasn't even in the package. And the dude never even got it.
Oh, man.
It was floating around, darn it, what country? Brazil. For like 30-something days, and then they sent it back to me. I'm like, I just wasted $35 on a toy I spent $5 on.
Womp, womp. Well, anyways, appreciate y'all. I had a great time, man.
See you.
Thank you guys.
I'll see you,
everybody.
Thanks, Nate.
Thank you, dude. Thank you, T-Man. And a big thank you to everybody out there. I definitely appreciate each and every one of you. Like I said, that's why we wanted to announce the big giveaway. Like I said, a couple episodes on episode 500, we will get ourselves a winner. So you guys take it easy and have a good one and have a good night. This has been your Redneck from Texas, Nate, and have a good night. All right, all right, all right.